Welcome back to ACC Tip-Off. A little one-on-one action there in the gaming room, 2K. And there are your players, Coach Jeff Capel. Who do you think's winning on the sticks, Ish or Jalen?
Well, in the locker room, Ish usually wins, so I would say Ish.
Do you have standings in the locker room?
They may. I have no idea. We just got a ping pong table, man. We switched from a pool table to ping pong, so that's all they're doing now, and Ish is always winning in that.
You never
Cape, I want
get
to let you
involved?
know that officially on the ACC Network crew, I destroyed Joe Barry and Luke Hancock
Okay, and
by one possession.
By what? You destroyed them by one possession.
Destroyed them by one possession.
Me and Luke kind of went together. He was by himself. I didn't have much time to get it going.
Nobody asked me to be on their team.
Hey, man, I just played my son. So my son's 12, and I jumped on the sticks. I hadn't played in forever. Tried to play Madden.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
It was worse. It was so bad, man.
What was the
Never
final?
turned on one of those things. Sorry, boys.
Well, we never got to a final.
We know
I'm
you
not going to
quit.
admit I quit.
Gave up.
I just gave up because it was, and he started trash talking me, so that made it even worse.
Coach, I've been there. My kids be busting me up, too.
Yeah.
That's what happens when they get older. Coach,
Yep.
we're really looking forward to watching this Pitt team this year, and I think we all collectively agree this could be a fun year coming off of last year. What do you like most about this specific unit that you've put together?
Well, first and foremost, I think we were mindful, and so I think the guys that we were able to bring back, we certainly don't take that for granted anymore. And we were able to keep Ish, keep Jalen, keep the twins, keep Zach Alston, and so guys that have played a lot and understand what we need and what we want. And Booz, I'm sorry, but I'm always partial, man. If you have really good guards, I think that's how you win. And Ish and Jalen are two really good guards. And then we tried to be mindful in the portal. We were able to go out and add positions of need with Cam Corrin, who is a guy from afar that I loved and admired his talent. And then Damian Dunn, a kid we tried to get 2 years ago when he left Temple, and we were able to get him this year, big, strong, older, physical guard. So I really like our team. I think the pieces fit. They've been a joy to work with this summer. I think we're talented, and I think we have a chance. So hopefully we can stay healthy and become the team I think we can be.
To me, you were an NCAA tournament team last year. I had a chance to see it up close and impersonal. And I think the one thing that really intrigues me about your team is your team reflects your city. Like, your style of play is blue-collar, tough, limit people to one shot, run them off the three-point line, don't turn it over, have a toughness and a physicality. When you took over that job, what was your mindset? Because I actually think you guys should take on a promotional mindset of Pittsburgh tough.
Yeah.
And that includes because I think that city can really relate to how you guys play.
Well, Pittsburgh tough is something that we talk about all the time with our team, and I think it's one of the reasons why the last 2 years we've been the best road team in the ACC in conference games, and I think it's because of that toughness. We are a team and a program that has a chip on our shoulder. None of our guys were recruited by any other ACC team. So it's guys that have felt like they were better than whatever they were ranked coming out of high school, feel like they were overlooked, so to speak. And so they all have a chip on their shoulder. You work there, you know that's how the city is. The city has a chip on its shoulder, so I do think we fit with that. We have tried to take on that identity, and I think our guys, because of the chip on their shoulder and because of their competitive spirit, I think we've done that.
Coach, one of the guys that had a huge chip on his shoulder was Blake Henson.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you could tell from the court, I loved his interviews. Some of the reporters just asked him a question. He look, it's just this simple. It's that,
Yeah.
Who do you think can take on that same role? Because that's hard to replace, and you need a guy like that in your program.
Yeah. That's going to be the hardest part because Blake was a guy, because of his confidence and belief in himself, he helped those freshmen so much last year, Bub and Jalen, because he wouldn't allow them to get down on themselves. And that's the most difficult thing to replace. Now, I think Ish can do that. Ish has a competitive spirit. He has a drive. He has a determination. And he's a good player. And I think Jalen can do that in their own way. We're never going to have – I don't know if I'll ever coach anyone like Blake that has that unwavering belief. Blake could shoot an air ball, could miss 4 shots in a row, and in his mind, it's something wrong with the ball or the rim. It's not him. And,
It's like Booz's golf game.
And so, but I think Ish and Jalen in their own way, it's pretty cool watching them find their voice and find how they lead. And so we're excited about them doing that.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about, Coach. I thought Jalen had a great year last year as a freshman. What's his summer look like, and how is he progressing to this year?
Booz, I thought not only was he one of the better freshmen in our league, I thought by the end he was one of the better guards. Yeah. If you really look at us, from once he entered the starting lineup and when we took off, we were 15-4. Yeah. Once he got healthy, and no one knew about the injury early in the season. And during those games when we were 15-4, I think he was 13 points a game. I think he was 5 assists, 4 assists, whatever. He was 41% from 3. I mean, he played at a high level, and we look forward to him taking another step this year and becoming consistently really good for a whole season.
Does he have it in him to be the leader that you guys need?
I think he and Ish, I think both of those guys in their own way, absolutely. Yeah. They're unbelievably respected by their teammates, and I think a big reason is they've done it. They've done it in big moments. You think of the shots that Jalen hit at Duke and the plays that he made throughout. But also, and Joel will know this, like especially as a guard, man, the guys got to want to rock with you. Yeah. So you got to be a good dude. Yeah. And both of those guys are really, really good guys that makes everyone want to play with them and want to play for them. Yeah.
He reminds me a lot of Xavier Nadell.
I remember you told me that.
Just his feel and just his presence. Papa sat out last year.
Yep.
Where is he right now health-wise, and what impact can he have to your team that has great size and versatility in their front court?
Well, he was just cleared this week. So this week is actually the first time he's played 5-on-5 since last August, because he got injured right in early September last year. It was a big loss for us last year because he would have been our most physical post player. Papa's a young man that's talented. He has an unbelievable motor and just naturally physical, naturally strong. He's a lot better now than he was last year because he's had a chance to get a feel for college. I think the biggest thing, and we all know because we've been around it for a while, the mental hurdle of coming back from that injury. And one of the things I loved a couple days ago in practice, he started getting into it, like barking at the other guys. And I loved it because for me, and I told him this afterwards, now you're not thinking about your knee.
Right.
You're just hooping.
Yeah.
When you get to start, you're talking trash and you're not taking anything. Yesterday he went knee to knee with someone and kind of got scared, but then he came back. And so those are the things. So he gives us a physical presence, rebounding the basketball, and someone down low that's just really, really physical.
As you get ready to, we're welcoming 3 new schools into the ACC, and you're an ACC guy through and through. You've been around the block. When you look, you have Cal and Stanford coming to you. You guys do go to SMU. What do you anticipate from that trio in and what they can add to this league as you get ready to game plan for them?
Yeah, well, I think, number one, all 3 of them have really, really good coaches.
Yeah.
And they have good players, man. And so I think it brings an excitement to our league, something different. Obviously, you go out to the West Coast and get to experience that. You go to the Dallas area, when you go to SMU and beautiful campus, they'll be talented. They'll be well coached. I'm sure there's an excitement for them to be in the ACC, so their fan base and all of that stuff will have a chance. And, look, for them, it's a big deal, man, to have ACC teams come out to their place and play. And so I'm excited about it. I was in the league. I'm way older than these dudes, so I was in the league before it expanded, to Miami and Virginia Tech and things like that. When you played everyone in the round robin, and when those teams came, it was exciting. The Notre Dames, and then the latter group with Pitt and Louisville, and so we're excited about it.
Does it add an element in recruiting when you can go out to California and see some kids and say, hey, we're going to be back in your backyard playing too. Like, has that factored in at all yet, or maybe that's just future down the road?
Yeah, I mean, it can factor in. You know, recruiting's transactional now.
Yeah,
you
right.
know what I mean?
It's different. It's different.
So it's way different. I mean, we got 2 guys
Bring
from
the
Senegal.
Benjamins.
Yeah, we got 2 guys from Senegal, 2 guys from Spain, and a kid from Bosnia.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now it's those things can help. We can go out there, but you know, you got to have some other stuff to get kids now.
Narrative around the league, and the commissioner addressed this yesterday about the narrative around the league. You know, like I said, I thought you guys were an NCAA tournament team. How do you think that, forget about the media, because you can only control what you can control. Everyone's got a podcast. Everyone's got something. Everyone's got an opinion. You know what they say about opinions. But how can you as coaches control the narrative where, like, you know, this is just a big belief for me. I think every single coach and every single press conference should have, besides talking about their team, even throughout the season, find a 1-second soundbite you could talk about another team, or how, you know, hey, we had a great job playing in X tournament. Look at this team's playing really well, or that backwards team's playing well, or that guard has been really good. How can the coaches help change the narrative, which will be good for the greater good?
Yeah. Well, I think, and you know this, as a coach, you get so single-minded in just talking about your team and thinking about your team. I do agree with you that that's an area where we can do a better job, because we're all watching.
Yeah.
You know, throughout, we're all watching. Like, we know what everyone else is doing, who's playing well, who are the really good players. So I do think that can help. Certainly, we have to do a better job of winning non-conference games. By the time we get to conference play, especially in January, normally your resume is kind of set, and it's unfortunate that no matter what happens after that, you're kind of, the narrative about you has been explained. So we have to do a better job of that. My first 4 years, we kind of helped bring the league down because we didn't do well. Last 2 years, we've done pretty good. So we have to do a better job of that. But then, like you said, we have to control what we can control. And I do think that is something that we can talk about, is how good our league is.
There a new motto you guys are abiding by this year? Is it the same thing as per usual? Maybe it's just the Pittsburgh strong thing.
Yeah, Pittsburgh tough. That's our thing. That's what we've gone by. You know, we have a chip on our shoulder. We talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about, you know, we want to be the toughest team, and mentally, physically, you know, and physically being conditioning-wise, you know, we want to try to play harder than everyone else. And the other thing that we've kind of embodied, and I think I appreciate this even more now, is gratefulness. We have a group of guys that are grateful to be at Pitt. And I think that's very different from when I took over in the first couple of years. We had some guys that I think they felt like they were doing us a favor by being there. There's a big difference in those two things. And so that's something that, as a coach, as a head coach, I'm going to fight like heck to protect in our program, getting the guys that are grateful to be there, to be in the city, to be at the university, and be a part of our program.
Coach, real quick, what are you most looking forward to this year?
I'm most looking forward to watching our team and seeing how we develop. I think I really love my team. I think we have a chance to be good. I'm anxious to play against somebody else now.
Tired of beating up on
like
each
everyone,
other? Yeah.
and they're tired of it.
Yeah.
But I just really like our group. I think we have a good group of returning guys. We added the right pieces, and so I'm watching to see how we're going to react when we get punched in the mouth, because that's when you find out who you really are, man. Right now, everything's great. I haven't had to put a starting 5 out there, so 6, 7, and 8 aren't pissed, and 9, 10, 11 because they all think they're going to play.
The workout guy, the grassroots coach.
I mean, that's the reality. I mean, we all know it, man. I mean, look, we did this. I did it. You guys played. You know, we all, as freshmen, maybe thought we were getting screwed at some point, or the coach doesn't believe in us and things like that. And you get older, you realize, man, maybe I was doing some stuff wrong and things like that. And you know, I'm a guy, my dad taught me this when I was growing up, you know, no excuses. Like, don't make excuses, figure it out. And, you know, I'm anxious to watch us figure it out.
Well, gratitude for you joining us here today. We appreciate you, Coach. Good luck this season.
Appreciate
We're looking
it.
forward to it.
Thanks, guys.
And you got some early challenges in that
we do.
schedule, too, so it's going to be fun watch.